I am starting, gentlemen. Hello, welcome in, guys. It's gonna be a special night as we got the round of 10 finishing up. So it's gonna be a very, very good night of racing Charlotte Motor Speedway. We all know and love Charlotte. Yes, it will be a little of a train, but I expect some racing. Some strategy's gonna come into play tonight if it goes green. I've run this track before, but I brought in two special guests. Don't think we'll get any more, but I love that we got some special guest in here, especially someone who's currently on the inside looking good. Mr. Yeti, make sure you include your audio first and foremost. We can double
Yep.
check that later. Oh, there's Master Killer, I guess. He's just coming in to hang out. Yeti, it's been, to say the least, a good season in the number 92 machine. But tonight is the night throughout this round of 10, you had a good run in the first race, a solid race last week, and now you're in the situation where you're plus 16 over the cutoff line. So going into tonight, what is your game plan at Charlotte?
Game plan is do what I did the last 2 weeks. Run up front, try to run top 10 in both stages, get stage points, and just run in top 10, make sure I'm on the right strategy. Hopefully we don't have cautions and making a fuel race, because if that happens, I am probably going to go lap down at that point.
Yes, fuel strategy. So, based off of what we've seen throughout the season, Yeti, you have been very good at, I gotta double check this. I feel like you're solid at these. You've done, I don't know. How do you feel about Charlotte as a whole, like the track in general for tonight?
You can get away with overdriving it for sure. I've definitely done that for like every time I've ever raced here, I have done that. I just drove it at the car's limit, and it's bit me because I was not able to save a lap of fuel. Which last night I did a mock race, and I figured out what I need to do for the night.
Gotcha. Well, you guys heard it here first. He figured out a way to save a little bit of fuel on the controller. Well, Yeti, I think you're gonna do well tonight. I did predict you to make the final four, so I wish you the best of luck
Thank you.
tonight at Charlotte. Just get a top 10 and some stage points, and you'll be in.
Yep.
All right, we're gonna move on to someone who's on the other end of the spectrum. Got volunteered to be an interviewee. It's B13. You missed the first two races of this round, so you were in a must-win situation at Charlotte. What's what's your opinion on this racetrack, B13? And make sure you include your audio.
Yep.
And I know obviously your goal is to win, but are you going to do some sort of strategy tonight, potentially see the win, or are you just gonna race it, see how it goes tonight?
I don't know if there's like a strategy that's going to put me at a step above the field or anything. I think probably just racing as hard as I can is going to be my best option. I like Charlotte, and I feel like I've got a pretty fast car there. I was just running some practice, and I was setting record lap times for myself, so that's good, I would say. Uh, I don't really know. I mean, stages don't exactly matter for me. I just need to do well, and I guess stay on the lead lap would be the most important thing going into the final stage, and then just yeah, hopefully I got a fast enough car to stay up there. In all my practices, it looks like without a caution, stage two could probably be a fuel saving stage, which is something I could do. And then
Mm-hmm.
the final
I
stage
know all
would
about it.
be I don't want to say it'd be fuel saving the whole time, but you might have to save a lap or a lap and a half in the final stage to kind of make it all the way. Yeah, yeah,
That is true. But either way, B13, I think tonight could fall into your wheelhouse as you do know how to save some fuel. Charlotte, though, what are your thoughts on Charlotte? I know you went over a little bit like practice and stuff, but what's your opinion on this track as a
oh,
whole
I
overall?
I love this track. It presents some challenges for a lot of people, like the entry to one and two. A lot of people get real loose and sideways, especially if you drive it in
Oh
way
yeah, I
too
used
deep.
to.
And I think for me, I don't know. I don't want to bite my own tongue. I feel like I'm really good in three and four. I think that's my bread and butter. I don't know. We'll just have to see how that plays out, though. I don't know. I'm excited for the
Yeah.
race. I like Charlotte a lot. I think it'll be a good race.
Yeah, I agree. It's a fun track. I can't wait for it. I also know that your teammates, with already themselves winning in this round, you have an obligation to potentially sweep the round for ALTM, but we'll see after tonight. B13.
Hey,
I wish you the best of luck.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
try
you got
my
something?
best. I not don't put too much pressure on me now. But
I'm joking.
no, I
I
mean
mean, I
I'm gonna
wish.
give it my best. Obviously, I know I gotta win to make it through, and I'm a little upset at myself for missing the races. Obviously, I well, I believe my brother's birthday was a couple weeks ago, and then I was extremely sick last Saturday, so
Oh,
just
that sucks.
unfortunate circumstances. But I look forward to this race. Charlotte's a lot of fun. I like it here, so
Yeah, and I can't wait to see you give it your best shot after tonight. I know you're not gonna go. You're gonna go out swinging, not on a whimper, as we like to say. I wish you the best of luck, B13. Can't
thank
wait to see you up front.
thank you.
All right, gentlemen. You guys can do what you want. You can stay in, maybe preview the race. I don't care what you guys do. You guys just chill out. Jason, in order to join this league, you would have to contact New York Mets fan 1992, and you not be able to join this week as the season is down to its last two races. Besides that, guys, Charlotte, very fun track. Thank you guys to the interviewers again. Yeti, who's currently plus 16 on the cutoff line, and then B13, who's in a must-win situation after missing two races earlier in this round. Overall, this season has been great. I've enjoyed it. I know next season I will be racing in this series, so that is a development that I'm gonna like. I also have a teammate in here. Yeah, whatever, Yeti, future teammate, nerd. You better make the Final Four tonight. Alright, yeah. But like I said, I'll be racing here next season. But again, I got two more races to do, and I'm enjoying it. Last week was amazing. I don't think we had that many cautions. Did we have... Do you remember, Yeti, how many cautions we had during that race? Was it one or two? It was very minimal. Oh yeah, but either way, it was a great race, and we saw after that night, Linecone was able to hold on over Sterlo, so Line was able to get it done, locked himself into the Final Four alongside his AL Team teammate, Irish FL. So overall, AL Team has done very well over the season, and if they run well tonight, I feel like that team championship is all but locked up if they all have a good run tonight. It is really a large gap at this point. It's about 50 plus, 55, maybe 60. So I think it's locked up for them. I think they have a team championship going into the bag after tonight if they have a good run. As a whole, though, I'll go over the playoff grid. Of course, lined your points leader, aka won last week at Gateway. Second is Irish. Third is Yeti plus 16. Spartan is plus 3 on the cutoff line. Jordan Dog in the 18 minus 3. Him and his teammate are all battling for the cutoff line, so don't expect the 18 and I think it's the 19 to work together. They're going to be competing tonight. I know ILM and ALTM have been really good this season with teamwork, but I feel like ILM tonight will be a little divided as those two need every point they can get, and I don't think they're going to play a friendly game, as we like to say. Perk minus 14. He is currently minus 14. Needs to get some stage points. If he gets some stage points, Georgia and Spartans slip up or run near the back top outside the top 10. Potentially, he could catch up. K-Therm said same situation as Perk. I did say he's going to make the Final Four. I don't know if I'm fully confident in that, but I did pick him for tonight. I think K-Therms has shown speed in the past. Last week was a little bit of an off week for him, but I think he rebounds tonight and has a good points day and potentially wins. Impact 8th in points, also still in a situation where he can point his way in. I will say it's on the brink of not pointing his way in. He has to win basically both stages and finish. No, he has to basically win. I feel like with numbers tonight, I'll get a double check on the numbers. Check in currently. Yeah, 12 checked in. Yeah, Impact's gonna have to win tonight. Impact, Sterlo, and B13. I would say they have to win. Georgia Dog, Perk, and K-Therms can point their way in. Those three drivers. So those are gonna be drivers they're gonna be looking at the beginning of the race. If they get some stage points, they get a little bit of a gap and gain on points wise. Alright, so we will go over our actual race information for tonight. Thank you, Axel. Welcome in. How you doing, man? Alright, so race information for tonight. 50%er, 3x wear. I've also done this in white lines, so I will give you guys the details. Stage 1, 21 laps. You can't really save that. It's maybe possible on wheel, as you start off at about, I think he's 6, was it 18 or 20? I think it's 20. I don't think you can save that realistically. I don't think it's possible, but you might see someone do it. Um, Stage 2 is definitely savable. I feel like it's 19 laps. I feel like someone's gonna run long and able to do that, especially on, I guess, wheel. I think guys like Irish, maybe Sterlo, who's also in a must-win situation. That's someone to watch out for. Sterlo and B13 are both guys who we've seen show speed throughout the season. I think it was last round, Sterlo actually got it done. I think it was Chicagoland. So he's not someone that you can look out and keep him out just because he's on the brink of elimination. He knows how to win, especially in this series on Wednesday nights, as he won one of those money races. So someone to watch out for tonight, especially at a track like Charlotte. I think he'll run well. Again, it is a fun track to run. You do have to save a little bit of fuel. Stage 3 is 53. This one is a lot longer, and like Yeti and B13 said, you have to save at least a lap of fuel during each run. 18 plus 18 is 36, and then you add 18 to that, that's over 53. So 36 plus 15, we'll do the math real quick. Actually, we're using a calculator. Okay, so you would have to save at least 18, 18, and then 17, and you'd make it on fuel at this racetrack. That sounds like a good deal. I think that's very physically possible for a lot of these guys. They can make it on fuel. They should be able to save that. Question is, how much pace can you maintain doing that? That's really the kicker or the killer factor of that. Pace is what's going to determine who's going to get it done tonight. Mega forehead. Alright. 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 Okay. Thank you. Alright, we're gonna do a lap. I'm bored. We got time, and I'm gonna do a lap around Charlotte with my controller. So I am gonna be insanely washed, to say the least. I have not run controller in a while, so please give me benefit of the doubt for my poor racing etiquette and gameplay. Just letting you guys know now.
Yeah,
I
the
have
pace
not
you
run.
see Britton run is not going to be the pace you see from the competitors tonight, so.
Alright.
Brent equals washed.
I am pretty washed. Okay. This is not the speed you guys will see from the competitors of this event tonight.
He's
Alright,
washed
gentlemen?
like a fresh pair of socks that just came out of the washer and dryer.
Alright, gentlemen, we're gonna do 5 laps around here. You'll see generally the pace. Fuel, of course, we start off at 18. So yes, you can make it. You can save a lap and a half, I'm gonna presume here. If you really need to, you can go up to 19 laps. So stage 2 is savable. We're gonna do 1 lap around this racetrack. Again, like some people said, turn 1 is a struggle bus for some drivers. The main reason for that is if you're not good on throttle, you don't arc it in, you're gonna get free. It's part of the nature of this track. You just gotta let off a little bit earlier than usual. There we go. Alright. We're doing a demonstration here, guys. Don't distract me. Here we go into 3. We can see that. You gotta get down to the bottom lane if you can. Get the arc off the corner. Make sure it rides up. And you should be able to just get a run there, and just that's a lap at Charlotte, really. But we're gonna do 5 here just to get the speed up, see what we can run. Ah, fuck. What the fuck is this? This is Go Dogs!
Damn.
He actually ran the 89 in a race here and helped me fuel save, so I can't really hurt him
Your
as much as I want
typical
to.
trouble spots when it comes to any point on the racetrack that can have any incidents is probably going to be 3 and 4. 1 and 2, not generally as much, but 3 and 4, especially with the hill coming off 4, seems to be
Oh yeah, I
a
agree.
tight place.
Entering 3 is definitely where we're going to see mistakes from a lot of people because they're going to be aggressive. You're going to have to send it underneath someone to make passes and moves, and that's where you're going to see a lot of people slap the track.
Oh,
I'm
that's
also
where
not
you
even
see
running
everyone
quick.
just
That's
contact
also
the
going to
middle.
be interesting how people work around cars that are pitting.
True.
I mean, we're taking entry, the apron of 3, so I feel like it would probably go pretty smoothly.
Yeah, and some people
I am
tend to get
actually.
aggressive a little bit.
Okay, I think I'm gonna put my washed controller away. I think I am done driving for the night. Let me finish this lap real quick. I do not feel comfortable anymore. No, I'm joking. Obviously, I can still drive on controller, but I am a little washed. As you guys can see, the lap times are a little bit off. But expect
Not off.
29s, really low 29s. I'm
You
pretty sure we're gonna
can
see.
expect Bryn not to be on the racetrack tonight, or else he'll have a controller going out his window.
Yep.
I would expect qualifying to be like a high 29s to 30 flats, and then the
I
race to
expect
be
mid
around the time.
29s. I expect mid 29s, relatively. I feel
They're
like some of
running
these
that
guys that we
loose
have in this.
for qualifying, understandable, but for the race, I don't think it will be that fast.
Yeah, no, for the race, I expect 29 sixes, but for qualifying, no, for the race, I expect 29 sevens to eights. For qualifying, though, I expect 29 fives and sixes.
That is
I
wild.
expect guys like Sterlo to really improve his pace during qualifying. I feel like he knows how to qualify. Of course, Irish and company. A lot of good guys. I also expect someone who we don't typically. He loves this track. I expect Cowboy Tech to be really solid tonight. I don't expect
Serlo is definitely a
a
person
win, but
that
top 10.
can dig in and find grip and qualifying that no one else can find. Just he needs to find that consistency during the race, during the race and trying to hold that all race long. But for sure, Sterlo and Irish are going to be those two that really come to mind pretty quickly of the drivers that are going to be hard to beat tonight.
Yeah, I would. The thing is with Sterlo though is that he's in a must-win situation. So if he actually wins tonight, that will shake up our playoff field. That is something that we got to keep in mind.
Hmm.
If that 16 goes to victory lane, Dark Spartan is not gonna like him, or even Yeti if he has a bad night. Spartan is gonna hate that 16 machine. They're not gonna be friends anymore. They're gonna sit on the
Yes,
other end of the counter
I'm
at
just
lunch.
I'm just waiting for anyone to actually that's not in between me and Spartan to win the race, and then me just to have a good finish. That's what I'm hoping on.
I
Yeah,
think
I
I think
still.
it'll be interesting to see if Sterlo can close out the race with a win. He's just really gonna have to be careful with how aggressive he is. It does seem like he can get over aggressive at times, but I think he can pull it in if he can just be patient at some points. I mean, he's one hell of a talent when it comes to just fighting speed. It's just trying to
It's
manage how
iffy.
aggressive he gets.
Here's something that we haven't kept in our mind though. There could be a non-playoff guy winning, and also someone like Perk or Georgia Dog who have been really solid this season. I will admit, K-Therm's he's been very good this season, but I feel like the last few weeks he's been a little off. I feel like he has the speed to win. It's just can he get up to the track position where he's in the position to do it? That's the problem that I've seen the
The
last few weeks.
the
He gets
driver's
stuck mired in
definitely
traffic.
above the cutoff line. They're definitely gonna have to keep their eyes
Yes.
out. Georgia can be one of the sneakiest under the radar type guys
Trust
to
me, Perk
just
can be
get in
too as
there.
well.
Perk can be in
Perk has
there
been
if he's having
sneaky.
a good night. It just has to be consistent. If you had to ask me,
K-Therms,
I think it's only I'd say it's only realistically Georgia and Perk that can point their way in. Everyone
yeah,
below
I
them, I
agree.
think it's a must win. I think if you're 15 or more out, I think it has to be a must win in your mind. All Georgia has
I
to really do is just outpoint both Yeti and Spartan, more Spartan than anyone. If Yeti's doing fine,
I will also say this: Georgia's gotta hope and pray. If he outpoints Spartan like he did If he does that, last week he actually gained 3, but he had such a good night. But at the end there, his
I
finish
don't really think
was
it's a
what
hope
costed
and
him.
pray. Georgia can do it. It's just he has. It's just finding himself trying to stay out of controversy
He
and
just,
out of
yeah,
incidents.
exactly. Like last week, he had a run going where he was actually gonna beat Spartan on points. He was gonna
Hmm.
take over that cutoff line, but at the end there, he got involved in the incident. He gained 5 on Spartan due to stages, but it was a rough finish for him. But tonight, I feel like if he has the finish and has the execution they did last week, he will be in that final four. It's not a
Yeah,
question
I feel
if
like
win or win or how.
Indianapolis is kind of the same thing. He was really strong for with the stages, but it was just a couple of there's just going over the line and getting into a spot that made mistakes, and it's just trying to be clean tonight, clean and consistent, and just trying to outpoint the right guys and not trying to overstep it with people that you shouldn't be overstepping with. And that goes the same thing for the people that aren't in the playoffs. Is they're really gonna have to keep an eye out and be careful who they're running out around.
Yeah, I agree with that. I feel like we're gonna have guys like if they're running tonight. I don't know who's gonna be running. I'm gonna check the racing thing, but if we have some guys that I know will be up front tonight, guys like, uh, I mean, GS can run solid at Charlotte. I think Midnight has shown flashes of running decent. Leppy will be, I think he'll be up front being a contender tonight. And then besides that, I will also say this. Impact, while we're not really talking about him into this fight, where he's also in a must-win situation, same as Sterlo. I feel like
Yeah.
Impact, I feel like at Chicagoland really showed us that if he needs to, he can execute. And I feel like if he can get the win tonight, that would shake up a lot of things. And at a track like, if I check next week, it will be probably a short track if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Iowa. I don't know how Iowa is for Impact, but if he makes the Final Four, I wouldn't count it out. He could potentially win the championship.
I would say the best bet for a lot of people that are running that are in the playoffs. I think just rely on strategy. Try to just be there at the end and be in reach. Don't try to put your car in vulnerable positions and trying to be as high as you can. Sometimes it works out to where you're just in the right place at the right moment. Hell, it could even be a case to where the people fighting for points are fighting too hard, and there's just the competitiveness makes one of them step over the edge, and then there's an incident. You just have to really keep an eyes peeled out for the field tonight.
Yeah, I can't wait. Well, you two have to go race. I know you, Master Killer, you're gonna have if you're racing tonight, obviously. I wish you the best of luck. Same as Yeti. Wish you guys good luck tonight. It's gonna be a fun one. I know there's gonna be some strategy being played by a lot of this field, and that's gonna be the fun part in the booth that I can't wait. Also, Georgia Dog is missing tonight. I forgot about that. He's
Oh,
missing
no
tonight.
way.
Georgia Dog is missing tonight. I forgot about that update from earlier in the night. So Georgia Dog is officially eliminated, so that kicks him out. So with that explanation now, it's Perk up to Perk to catch up to Spartan. K-Therms, like you said though, you said plus 15 is not really pointable, but I feel like if he wins maybe the first 2 stages, gets those 5 bonus points, and the other people like Spartan magically doesn't have a good finish in those stages, he
Yeah,
could if he finishes second.
I'm very
It's
confident with K Therms and hit and where he can be performance-wise with everyone else. He's pretty good on
is
speed. It's just going to be that same case of just not trying to overstep in aggressiveness or not trying to make a mistake. He's definitely got the speed to be up there to contend for wins and being his teammate. Like I have full confidence in Therms that he can, if not win, which I his point position, I would say it's close to a must-win situation, but just trying to get as much points as possible is should be a going point as well as trying to see if he can try to be near the top for the win.
what I want to see out of him is the ability to close out a race or maybe be the front runner car. That's something that I feel like this season hasn't been really the 38's motto. It's been being there inside the top five, magically appearing, getting a solid ass finish, and just
Yeah.
being consistent. The problem is that this time around won't get you into the final four. He has to be inside the top five. He has to be making those moves. He has to
Uh-huh.
know about the strategy, which is going to be a factor tonight. It's going to be a fuel saver in stage two at least. Stage one is going to be one stop, maybe two tire stops at the first green flag stop if we have green flag racing. Um, mm, I mean, we have 5 minutes. We have 5 minutes. You can. I think we're good. Do you think I need that? Do you think that's fine? Eh. Trying to get Hendrick in here. Ooh. Okay. Alright, let me go over my Wednesday picks. As I actually do this every Wednesday on the podcast, I have started to do this for the last 2 or 3 weeks, where I make my picks for the Wednesday Saturday night series. Um, well, I know one guy's not making it. Unfortunately, Fenris is not going to be here. He's not racing, so already one of my picks out, unfortunately. So my dark horse now with Fenris out, I'm going to go with. Who should I go with? I'm going to go with Leppy. He's going to be a dark horse for tonight. He's going to replace Fenris up in that points thing. Changing him. I think Leppy's got good speed, but my main pick, of course, was K-Therms, obviously, because I really do think he has speed. It's just about execution. If he can execute, get the track position, get up front, able to save that fuel. I've seen him do it before in White Line Truck Series. He's been able to save fuel. He's been able to do it at certain tracks and other series. I feel like if he's able to get the track position, he's able to execute, he will get it done if it's based off of fuel. But it will be a question of if, not. It's gonna be fun.
That's another point you brought up. It when it comes down to these
Everyone's
strategy
if.
races, it's I've seen more times than not Sterlo not go the distance when it comes to these strategy races. Most of the time with
Even
fuel.
Spartan.
Yeah,
Even
Spartan.
Spartan.
Hmm.
Spartan, everyone involved, Irish even at times. It's really a matter of if you get a caution, that throws out the strategy that you're doing out the
Yeah,
window. Because
I think they focus mainly on positioning themselves over starting to save and all that, which can
also,
be a detriment if you're focusing too much on the position you're trying to be in.
Ironman is running tonight. Yeah, that's definitely gonna be someone up front. Well, Ironman is running tonight, so expect him to be top five as well. So that's gonna be another guy that's gonna take points away from maybe some of these playoff guys if he
He'll
runs
probably be a big factor of
the win.
Iron when it comes to strategy with Iron Man, he's one of the best people that comes to strategy. So if there's like I don't know if we really had a race this season to where strategy's been the biggest point of a race where it's put people a lot
Last
down.
week, no, that was actually an NXT. Gateway for Xfinity, I
Might have
think
been
was
Dover. I'm not exactly sure. That could have been NXT too, but there could be a good chance that Iron Man pulls a big strategy move and puts a lot of people a lap down.
he. Oh yeah, we heard about that. He said he was gonna miss tonight, maybe potentially, and like you just said, he is gonna be missing due to internet going out. So that's unfortunate for a playoff Final Four hopeful driver. Really unfortunate. I thought he was having a great season. I thought tonight, after last week, after being so close to maybe overtaking Spartan, it was gonna be super close for him on points, and unfortunately, he does not get the opportunity to even fight.
Yeah.
All
Oh, you
right, you
did?
guys
You
have
do.
fun.
All right.
I'm gonna go. I'm hoping to get Hendrick in here because I have a good party. But I would probably go join Hendrick, I guess. I don't freaking know. Okay, I'm gonna. All right, see you guys later. Yes, that is me, Axel, talking. Yes, I do talk a lot. I am commentating. We'll get to the race in about three. 2 minutes. I promise you. We'll be watching some content in 2 minutes. We are in pre-race. That is why it's taking forever. It's the Final Four decider. So it's going to be a... Just give me... We'll get some footage. Some cars driving on the track. I apologize. What the hell? He left! He left! No, he joined mine! Hendrick! Oh my gosh, we're flipping! There you go. There you are, Hendrick. Alright. I'm turning on my party audio. Hello, Hendrick. Hello, my guy. Hello! How you doing?
I am
Making
alright.
sure to include my audio. Alright, I'm finally talking to someone again, like Master Killer. I get to talk to Hendrick. I'm joking. It's gonna be a fun one. I can already tell you this, Hendrick. It's gonna be a strategy race. I've done this race before in White Line, and we had to save fuel.
Mhm.
Just expect some fuel saving, especially in stage 2 and 3.
Yeah, I've commentated way too many Charlotte races over the past week. White Line included. What was I gonna say? What was another race that I did?
Was it no, not All State Elite, right? You didn't
No,
do Charlotte.
not all Charlotte. I think it might have been. Let me look. Feels like I've done it too many times already.
Let me check the archives
Yeah,
real quick.
Yeah, the archives of my streams. There we go.
Thank you, Yeti. I'll get you in a second. Give me 1 minute. There you go. This is qualifying, by the way, guys. So they're gonna do one lap around. They're gonna do single car
Oh yeah,
qualifying. And we can get this
Premier.
started.
That was another one. Also,
Oh yeah, 2 weeks
I
ago.
will need an invite.
I sent you one, didn't I? I sent you
Nah.
another one.
Yeah,
There
there
you
we
go.
go.
Guess it's not popping up.
Yeah.
That was weird. It's unfortunate. Alright. Alright. Now we're gonna have cars on the screen! 32 minutes in and we finally have some action. Yep, we've been doing this for a little bit. Alright, gentlemen, we're gonna introduce our drivers. Ironman in the 54. Really good at Charlotte in particular. I expect him to be up front. He's really good at this racetrack. He's known to be able to win it, so expect the 54 machine to be up front in the Ironman. Spartan, one of the guys on the cutoff line, +3, but with Georgia missing the night, he has an opportunity to just run solid and without someone being just -3. The next closest competitor to him currently in that point standings, I'll get my chart up real quick for anyone. The next closest driver is -14, Perk in the 98. So he has some leadway to maybe not get stage points in one stage, but get stage points in another and get a good finish and still make it in type deal.
Next up, Cowboy Tech in the 44. Actually finished 11th last week, was just shy of a top 10 run. If it does go the fuel mileage again tonight, Cowboy Tech could be a good sleeper pick for a top 10 run tonight. So we'll see what the 44 has in store later on in this race. And then Trevi in the 36. Did finish 3 laps down last week. Last time I checked, I did not see him on track. I saw him in pit road the entire time. But he is on track, finally on my side. So we'll see if the 36 car will be able to compete tonight.
Like you said, Cowboy Tech could be a good contender for our top 5 or top 10. I think he's really good at Charlotte. New York Mets fan, Mr. Admin of the series. He's just looking to chill out tonight. Admin the series as usual has made the last 2 races of this season. And then we got Yeti, +16 on the cutoff line. We talked to him earlier. He feels confident. He learned a strategy to be able to save fuel in this on this type of racetrack, so look for him to be potentially a top 10 contender. He's got good speed in these cars, and I expect him to be up front, maybe to get in the Final Four.
Lined Cone in the 8 car, already into the Final Four after winning last week at WWT, so no pressure on the 8 car tonight. He's going to be pretty much watching from the sidelines as he will try and get another win to go back-to-back. And then Exo Austin in the 21. I know he's going to be very happy about me talking about him instead of you, based on last week. Exo did finish inside the top 12 last week. He did get 12th. We'll see if the 21 car will potentially be able to improve on that finish tonight. Actually, 3 straight weeks for this 21 car has finished in the 12th spot. So we'll see if he avoids 4 in a row and potentially gets top 10.
So he's consistently mid. All right, so we got that out of the way. K-Therms is minus 16 on the cutoff line right now. I predicted him to win tonight. Obviously has to have a great night. There's no excuse. He either has to point his way in by winning both stages or getting some stage points, and then I guess Spartan falling off the face of the earth and Perk to be able to get into the Final Four. But it's possible, and I predicted him to win, so I expect K-Therms to be up front tonight later in the showing. Next up is Irish FL. He won his way early on in the first race of this round at Pocono, so he is in basically just cruise mode, waiting for Iowa. It's, from what I've heard, it's not one of his best tracks, but I heard he's been improving there, so I want to see what will happen in the Final Four for him.
Next up, Master Killer in the 39. He did not race last week from what I'm aware of. He is not one of the active playoff drivers anymore. So we'll see if he is still able to run at a high caliber after taking the last race off. And then iTrip into 0. He did not have a fun time at WWT because he did not finish the race. He finished 18th last week, so he's hoping for redemption tonight in that 0.
Yeah, you used him as a camera. You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Holy Divines, Midnight, as we like to say. He goes by Holy Divines now in the 99. I don't know what to expect from him. Maybe a top 10 run in that machine. That is really all I can expect from him. Next up is Impact, one of the playoff guys, really in a near must-win situation. I don't think it's impossible to point his way in, but they would have to have a tragic run for him to get point his way in. He is minus 22 on the cutoff line.
Speaking of that, we have Leppy in the 11 car. Leppy is no longer in the playoff hunt, but he is back in his rightful 11 car. He did not race last week. That was why Holy Divines was in the 11. And then B13. If there is an underdog tonight, it is going to be him. 79 points below fourth
I know.
place. It is a Hail Mary attempt for this one car. If he wants to make it in, he has to win. There is no other way out.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's basically Hail Mary. Hopefully they catch it. Perk also in a situation where he could point his way in. Minus 14, the closest without Georgia Dog, with Georgia Dog missing. Minus 14, got to get some stage points. Key factor tonight. Next up is Do Prime subbing for Dodge Dakota. I don't know what to expect from him, but he should be solid tonight. And that is our field for tonight's event. We also got Sterlo. He gave you an update. He's not qualifying Hendricks, so he is making the field. He is minus 27. He's just like B13, where I say it's a must-win situation with the field count tonight.
Another little minor update. GS Racing will also be here tonight. Not a playoff contender, but the 93 car did not qualify. He'll start at the back to go with Sterlo.
Okay, so that is your field for tonight. You guys heard it there. GS and Sterlo. Sterlo is minus 27, one of the playoff guys. Oh my god. I don't freaking know, buddy. I don't got a setup here. I'm ass here. What I run in white line that I save fuel with? Alright. Yeah. You might be cooked then. Alright, on pole is Line Cone Irish, the two teammates who won the first two races of this round. Third is going to be Ironman, qualified inside the top 5. Fourth is K-Therms, good qualifying effort from him. The highest of the guys not locked into the playoffs at the moment, Hendrick. And then fifth on back is B13, qualifying 5th. That means he has some good speed tonight. Any notables that you want to mention other than those guys? Spartan,
Yeah,
qualified
Spartan
6th, good effort.
Yeah, I was going to say Perk in that 98 and Impact in the 10 starting in row 6, 11th, and 12th. Yeti in the 92 starting in 7th. I'll send you that real quick. And then
Thank you.
looking on back here, Exo did not want to have his lap time. He will start at the back. Thurlow will be starting what should be the 18th position.
Yep, that is something that we're gonna monitor. How long does it take Sterling to get through the field? We saw at Gateway that it didn't take him long, Hendrick. He won, I think didn't he win a stage?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he won stage 2, so he was able to maneuver in there. Exo, if you don't stop talking shit in my DMs, I'm gonna punch you. I don't have a setup here. That's the setup that I ran in that race. That's all I know about this track. Don't talk shit to me, brother. When you're asking me for something. Like, the hell? You know, you can't have nice things, Hendrik. You know, you're a nice person, and then they ask you for a setup, and then they call you your ass and everything. Like, you insult me, and then I have to give it to you. I shouldn't have gave him the setup. I should have just ignored him. Be like dick to him, basically. So yeah, 20 cars in the field tonight, officially. It's gonna be fun. Midnight also backed out, so that gave Sterlo up to 17th. He's starting 17th now. Alright. Oh yeah, I should probably give you this. Stage 1 is gonna be 21, stage 2 is 19, I'm gonna say it aloud, I could probably send it to you. And then stage 3 is 53, fuel run is 16 to 17, but I will put an asterisk by this. You start off at 19, I think it's 18 technically, but if you have a clutch or shifter, you could save a lap. I did it before in a race. You have to really slow up your pace though, but you could save fuel. Also, they're starting up. We can join. Alright, here we go for the race. We're going to get this rolling. We're going to be underway from Charlotte.
We're going to be
Daytime
underway
race.
from Charlotte. Daytime race.
Thank you, Spartan, for the redeem. I heard that.
It's my grunt, as we like to say. Alright, gentlemen. Let's get this started. Your pole sitter is a guy who already won this season. Actually won last week at Gateway. Line Cone is your pole sitter at Charlotte. Behind him is Ironman in the 54, and alongside him is the 38 of K-Therms. He's up to third already. Spartan, and they look laggy. They look good now. It was a little
doesn't look too
squiggly
bad.
at first. Yeah, they're fine now.
Impact going
But
to the back.
K-Therms,
10 car going all the way to the back of the field.
that's unfortunate for him. Is he gonna have to? He's gonna have to make that up. He needs to get stage points tonight. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He needs to get some stage points. As Ironman is up to second, making moves in Irish.
Burke in the 98 now battling Cowboy Tech for position. This is mid-pack, just outside the top 10.
Yeah, and as you're talking about that, Ironman and Irish continue to be side by side as Ironman clears him for second. Here comes K-Therms back to the bottom lane, trying to fight for third. Spartan pushing him through, and look who's there in the one car.
Very close call in the back. Thurlow had to avoid Trevi, who was in the wall and got stuck in it, exiting 4.
Prime hit the apron alongside, I think that's Leppy in the 11. He luckily didn't make contact as K-Therms officially clears Irish for second. Spartan is also, here comes Irish
third.
back on the outside lane.
Yeah, this is the battle for the third spot right now. K-Therms and Irish. Dark Spartan in that 19 so far, doing what he needs to do. He is in the 5th position. He has
Top
to
5.
hope that someone like Line Cone or Irish wins tonight, because if they don't win and Spartans win, more than likely it's going to be someone else who's already in the playoff.
Or
run.
Ironman. I mean, you would hope Ironman wins if none of those guys that are in the playoff, like, already locked in win. Ironman has speed at this racetrack, so he wants him to win, of course. So that is the best case scenario. Ironman, Irish, or maybe even Ironman win tonight. But the guy in second, he does not, or third, my apologies, does not want to win. He does not want to see K-Therms get the W.
And if that does happen, Spartan's only way in is if Yeti falls off tonight. And Yeti is 2 spots behind the 19. Right behind him is Perk in the 98, who has made up even more time.
Here comes the 19 trying to get underneath him. Here comes B13 again. Had to check up and block Yeti. Alright, we're going to go back there with Sterlo. We got to get an update on him. He's a little bit off the pace, to be honest.
He
He's
is
behind
off the
Trevi and
pace,
company.
but he has had close calls. And talking
Saving.
about the Trevi incident that he was able to avoid. Currently just ahead of Holy Divines at 99. Now Divine's
I
going
would
to get
say
by him on the outside.
He could be, like you're saying, he is off the pace, Hendrick, but he could be saving fuel.
Good.
Why would you be off that pace for doing nothing? We obviously know he can run up front when he wants to, but I feel like he's saving fuel, and a lot of these guys up front are not going to be doing that.
And again, for those of you who don't watch at least my side of the streams, I will keep an eye on the points throughout the night. So stay tuned for that after each stage. Remember, those stage 3
We got
tonight.
pitters. B13.
I'll actually go ahead and do that right now. I'll write these points in.
B13 pits early, doing the early pit strategy as we see. There's going to be 21 laps in this stage. So that's why I think that he's going to potentially be trying to save the fuel to win the stage and put maybe some cars a lap down by being able to make it on fuel. Because you start off at 20, it's very difficult to save, but it is possible with a clutch or
So,
shifter. We'll see if he's actually doing that.
I don't like the call by B13 solely because this is a different attempt. He has to win the race, so if something does go wrong, then it's going to be harder for him to come back from it. And the only thing he gains is track position. He doesn't need points. What he needs is in the final stage.
I agree, but at the same time, he's trying out strategies that maybe work out in the long run. Maybe he jumps a few cars by doing this early and gets the track position that he needs to start stage 2 when you gotta save fuel. Reminder, they have to save fuel in stage 2. It's 19 laps if I'm not mistaken. So if you get the track position and you're able to save fuel up front, he could be up there in a good position for stage 3 as well. So I think he's just trying to get himself
Spartan
positioned.
signals.
Yeah, so everyone's pitting
In
up
the
front.
98 of Perk.
Perk is sending it. There's also a car behind him as well. I think that's Trip in the 0.
I Trip in the 0. Also another car behind him, a yellowish-greenish machine. That's EXO.
21 of EXO, yep. He's been finishing in the 12th position for the 12th straight week. Yeah, I just said it. It's the 12th.
This time,
All right.
Irish.
Gonna send it down. Good execution. Don't hit the curb. Up the track he goes! They
No
save
harm,
it.
no foul.
Exactly. So Ironman
Now another pass.
in line for
Yeti
top 2.
is ahead of K-Thurns. That 92 and 38. K-Thurns was in third at one point. He got passed by a good bit of cars. So we'll see if K-Thurns
Oh yeah,
can make it
impact
back
saving.
up.
Impact saving. I just saw, I'm looking at his point of view. Here
Iron
comes
Man
Iron Man. Impact is on fuel conservation mode.
Another car in back here.
Mets fan.
Yep, Mets.
Where is Line Cone? I gotta
Line
get to his point of
still
view.
Not in pit road yet. Expect them in within the next lap or two.
Sterlo ahead of, I think, Impact at the moment.
Stays out.
Here is Line Cone for anyone
Leppy.
who's wondering. This is your leader.
Leppy in this time in the 11.
So yes, like I said, you have to pit. Yeah, I don't think they can save it. I mean, Impact's 2 laps short at the moment, and he's been saving
Yes,
pretty
and-
early on.
Trevi in. Thurlow still staying out.
It's gonna be difficult.
And Line will stay out again. No
I will save.
consequences.
K-Therms.
No consequences for the 8 car tonight. However, he does have the ability to manipulate who does make the championship round and who doesn't
Oh, yeah.
through his pit strategies.
I will obviously say this. I think teamwork maybe for some teams is going to be on the rise as 2 people are locked in and 1 isn't. So expect those guys to work together if they can.
Line
If you know,
staying
you
out.
know. Oh, I feel like if you're working together like maybe Yeti and K-Therms are, as immediately as I say that, K-Therms goes to the bottom of Yeti. Yep, he's making the move. I thought they were going to work together for a few laps. As Yeti goes up the track, so K-Therms gets back around him. He's going to slap the track. Here comes Yeti, going to get the run off the corner. So
Line
K-Therms officially makes the
At this
pass.
time, the leader will go into pit road.
Pitting as late as possible.
Very good entry below the apron. And that should be a perfect entry for this 8 car.
Now, when these guys are on 1 lap of fuel, the leaders are on 1 lap, so these guys are coming down this time by, at least K-Therms is. So now the key question is, does Sterlo and maybe Impact have enough fuel? Here comes K-Therms.
Yeti will stay out. Yeti has to pit, though, next time by.
So K-Therms to pit road. That is the last, besides of course Yeti, of the leaders.
And Yeti may sputter entering turn 3. It's going to be really close.
We'll see
Gets
as he's
by
getting around
Sterlo.
Sterlo. And Impact, here he comes, weaving through the cars.
Going to have to get down quickly. And he will.
Now the real question is here, Hendrick, do they maintain enough pace to actually keep ahead of the people who just pitted? Because if they're going so slow saving, they will be caught again. Like, there's no question. Like, look at Line Cone. Look how close he is to Sterlo and Impact at the moment. Look at the gap. It's shrinking every single lap. So will they catch him by the end of the stage, even if they're saving fuel? That's the question that I have in the back of my head. Is it going to be worth potentially... For Impact, of course, he needs these stage points. But for Sterlo, I think he's just trying to get track position. But if he loses it, based off of having to save fuel, is it really worth doing this strategy? He did start on the rear, though, so it could benefit him either way, even if he falls back just outside the top 5.
Exiting, but it's going to be nowhere close to Impact. Here's where the line is. He is already by.
Look at Iron Man,
and he
Spartan,
is about to catch
and-
Sterlo.
Yeah, I told you. Sterlo is massively off the pace, and that's the problem that you have with fuel saving.
Got him. Line Cone up to second. He is good to go. Impact, however, questionable. With 3 to go, he is within a lap.
Oh, he's nearly there.
He is within a lap short.
That is a key factor. Here comes the huge pack behind Sterlo as he's going to be backing off the pace. Here comes Iron Man, Yeti,
So Impact's
and
fuel
Spartan.
mileage will hit 0 on
Oh.
the second half of the backstretch.
Yeti got blocked in
Hurt,
behind
three
the
wide.
Oh, unfortunate for Yeti. He lost 5 spots because of Sterlo checking up his lane. Unfortunate for the 92 of Yeti who needs the points. So now Perk, B13, Iron Man leading this pack as Line is trying to catch up to the 10 car.
Oh, Perk
Impact
loose.
has a
That's
straightaway.
close for the 98. We're getting to the white flag for this first stage.
As they're side by side for third. It should be white flag in the
Impact
air
may
this
sputter,
time by.
keep an eye. Good entering the backstretch. It's going to be at this second half right here where we may see him lose that last lap. There it is. On his counter, it hit 0. Will he sputter?
He should make it. He should make it out of 3 and 4. Impact is going to get the stage points he needs. He's going to win stage number 1. He needed these stage points. That's +5 to his counter. Unfortunately for him, Spartan finished top 3 in the stage. In third.
Perkin for
So
B13
only 1 plus point gain for him.
in that 5th spot. Rounding out the top 10, Yeti in 6, K-Third, 7th,
Be right back.
Irish, Ironman, I-Trip. 5 points for that 10 car. Go on ahead and add that stuff in. There we go. Sturlo in front with Blind in second. Back to green. Sturlo forgot the pit. Oh no! Sturlo did not pit. Big implications for one of the playoff contenders and a crucial mistake. Sturlo very slow. He does not have any fuel in the car.
Oh no.
The
The
16
16.
forgot to pit under yellow.
Well, guys, you just saw a championship contender maybe just ruin his season with that pit strategy as he is stopped on the turn 1 entry. His night is over if he can't get to pit road. Even then, he's going to be multiple laps down. That is really unfortunate for a contender like that to have that issue. And like, it's a pressure situation. He has to win basically tonight, and stage 1 did not go his way, and then he accidentally didn't pit, and now his season might be over as B13 is up to 3rd, but Lion Cone sits in the lead with Spartan right behind him. So Spartan is also showing up again tonight. I thought Spartan this round was really off to begin at Hendrick. Last week I felt like was an off week. I don't know what happened to him last week at Gateway. He didn't have the speed that we normally see from him. But he's back to his speedy ways, and I expect it to continue as he's going to take second away.
Sturlo still exiting turn 2.
He needs help, and I don't think anyone's going to help him,
Don't
unfortunately.
get me wrong, like, I know we've seen people run like this every league, such as Go Dogs, but this is unusual of Sturlo. As he is just limping on the backstretch. He is watching this pack go by him every single lap.
He's like a fish out of water. I feel really bad for him, as this is just pain for him, as his championship contending chances are done. His race is over, like, officially. Unless this race turns into a caution fest, which this series, in my opinion, hasn't had a caution race up to date officially in a while. And even then, I don't think it was.
Yeah, there
Look
you
at
see
Mets
it.
fan!
Mets
There's
trying to
Mr.
be the
Mets
good
fan
guy.
going his usual pace. Pushing him.
Master Killer's gonna help.
Oh, yeah. You guys go! You guys, Master Killer's some
Sturlo
practice.
and
You remember at
Pit Road,
Chicagoland? Oh,
Sturlo and
I was
Pit
gonna
Road.
say.
There goes his championship hopes.
I was gonna say, Master Killer had some practice pushing people to pit road. If you remember at Chicagoland, unfortunately B13 missed pit road that time, but he knows how to push someone to pit road, Hendrick, I would say. So if we have someone running
Mets
out,
pit
we
road.
could help him.
Master Killer did not pit. Just trying to help. But the damage is done.
Yeah.
Line still in
So
front. Dark Spartan in the second spot. K-Therms
Look
in
at Perk.
third.
Perk making a move on B13, back there for 5th. Here comes Ironman in 4th, making a little bumping and banging with K-Therms. Ironman is not going to allow K-Therms to sit crazy in 4th. He's going to try to help his driver of the 19 and try to make moves on him.
So an update on that current points situation. If someone does win, Spartan is 11 behind Yeti. Perk currently 15 behind Spartan, 26 behind Yeti. Impact 16 behind the 19, 27 behind Yeti. K-Therms in the 38.
Oh, he's up the track, into the wall. K-Therms win as you were talking about the point situation.
Yeah, and that's going to really hurt him. He's 18 back from the 19, and also 29 back from Yeti. And B13 is just too far back, if I'm going to say his points.
What was Impact's gain on the last
Impact
with
did
the
get
stage
by
2 win?
K-Therms
Stage
in
1.
the standings. He is 1 point behind Perk for what
So
will
overall-
likely be that 5th spot in the playoff grid.
So what's the overall gap to Spartan at the moment?
Spartan is 15 ahead of Perk, 16 ahead of Impact, 18 ahead of K-Therms, and B13 is too many.
So at this
And
point,
speaking of Spartan,
if you're Perk,
Spartan went up the track. Perk's going to get by him here for third if he can continue to push Iron Man. And Yeti's trying to close in.
you know what they're not doing, Hendrick? That I know is certainly going to be a factor. They're not saving fuel. And Impact is going to guarantee that he makes it on fuel here. He's going to do exactly what he did in stage 1. And he's going to try to win it on the stage here to get some more stage points. They're pushing to no one's end. They're not saving at all. You can make 19 laps of fuel on the tank at this racetrack, I think. We saw it earlier. Impact did 20. I think it was actually 21 laps on the tank in stage 1. Yeah, it was 21. He didn't pit at all, and he still won that stage. So they can make it on fuel here. I'm telling you, man, that 8 car, though.
Trevi in pit road for his stop.
That 8 car, Hendrick, is just looking dominant. He is gapping the field. But does he know, can he save the fuel when we go into stage 3? Is he willing to save the fuel? Like, he's pushing as hard as possible now. He's pitting, obviously. But to make it on stage 3, you have to save a lap of fuel per run to even make it on 3 stops or 2 stops. So, question is he willing to even save fuel tonight? Even though he doesn't have to win.
Track. No change of position. It is basically single file in the top half of this field.
Yeti's looking, though. He's getting into the corner pen of the 19 underneath him.
Back
So it's
here,
forcing... Oh! Iron Man at the apron! Something! He had to check up. Perk got affected.
And that's,
Here comes Irish.
and that's going to make
Inside the top
Perk
5.
really upset. That's going to really hurt his track position. Iron Man will still be in the top 10, just ahead of Cowboy Tech.
I told you earlier, Cowboy Tech is good here. I think he's inside the top 10 at the moment.
He is currently at P10.
10th. Yeah, with Impact saving a little bit. Yeah, like I said, this is Cowboy Tech's favorite track, so I expect him to run decent.
Battle for 12
This is one of his
back
better
here.
tracks.
Lefty does clear iTrip. EXO in 14.
As Yeti officially cleared up for second, he got around Spartan. Key spots. Here comes Irish, making a move on Spartan. Inside the top 3 battle. Look for this. Yeti up to second. But look who's smooth sailing. No one is pressuring the 8 car of Line. He is in nowhere's land. Basically just cruising away from the field and putting on a show.
Do Prime in the 9 car also lingering in this group. How about GS, who just got by Perk? Perk's going to go on ahead and make his pit stop.
I think something happened at K-Therms again. He's now all the way behind Impact.
Wonder if K-Therms is trying to save. Or he did hit the wall, remember that.
Oh yeah, we got people pitting.
But I think K-Therms may be trying to conserve a little bit.
I think Perk just pitted, Hendrick.
Yeah.
I think Perk just pitted. He did.
And yeah, I didn't just say that like 25 seconds ago.
No, I did not hear you. I am sorry. I am deaf, blind, and I'm doing something that I shouldn't be doing.
Line cone in.
Line. Ooh. You saw it before I could say it. I saw it before I could say it.
Perk is
Irish
exiting.
right. Irish is right on the back bumper of Yeti. There's a little bit of gap between them and Spartan as B13 is catching up to Spartan quickly. He's going to go to his inside. Here comes GS Racing. Did he pit? Why
He
is
did
he
not
has some
pit.
speed?
GS was
Okay.
already up here. Same with Do Prime in the 9.
He's just making moves then. All right, so GS is making moves. The Spartan is dropping back, trying to save fuel now. Late. Problem is that he's trying to save fuel late in this run. He may have burned a little bit too much pushing early on. We'll see if he can make it on fuel. We already saw Line Cone had his bet made as he pitted very early
Here
on.
we go.
As Yeti's making a move to pit road.
Doesn't do it.
No, he was just looking underneath the 7. We got someone else in the background that's a 9 of Do Prime, I'm pretty sure,
Yep,
coming to
Do
pits.
Prime in pit road. not the full-time driver of that car. He did take over for Dodge Dakota. Cowboy Tech also in. Car in the grass.
Oh, it do! He missed pit road! He missed it! He's slow in the grass. 9 car in the front stretch grass, and his stage 2 strategy's over as I think he's out of gas, Hendrick.
Again,
He's slow on the
another
apron.
driver with issues for getting the pit or having bad entries.
Leppy just had to let someone go by the 21 minutes, so as he's coming to pit road.
Extremely slow.
Yeah, I know. He may have ran out of gas as well. Yeah, he's pacing. He's out of gas.
Bren.
Wait, hold on a minute. They're slow.
Stage
Caution.
is over.
Oh, stage is over?
Stage is over.
What? My point of view is stupid. It froze. Who won it? Irish won. Second is B13. Impact third. GS fourth and Spartan fifth.
GS is... Yeah, Impact third, GS fourth, Spartan fifth.
Well, I apologize. We
Ironman,
did not know the stage was ending.
Yeti in 8th, Lined in 9th, Leppy 10th. That's big for Spartan, actually. That is actually decently big. He does gain another point.
Impact, though, has beaten him on points tonight, which is something. But it's not enough for Impact. He's going to have to win this race unless Spartan finishes 20th.
And this is even more bigger for Lined because he's 9th. He has to go all the way back up towards the front.
Oh, Line lost a ton of spots by not saving fuel. I
Yep.
told you that was going to bite him in the ass. It did. But he has speed. But the question is, you got to save.
There
Last
he
week's
is.
winner. Pocono winner. Already locked in. Irish has his teammate on the outside lane. B13, who's in need of a win. Do those two work together?
Well, Impact has
to
something
get him
to
a
say
win.
about it because he's also on the same
Oh, yeah.
boat. There he goes for second.
Yes, he is. You do have to save a lap of fuel, but it's not that much. We got to keep an update on this lap counter so we don't screw up again. I apologize. I should be fired for this job. That's why I'm not commentating next season. They fired me. It wasn't my choice.
I will make
I'm
that
lying,
official. I will be commentating on Saturday nights.
Yes, yes, Hendrick is commentating, so I'm going to enjoy the rest of the season. I can't wait to see the Final Four at Iowa as well. But right now, we got a race to watch, and it's at Charlotte. Impact up to second, GS in third. Back there falling off is Spartan in the top lane. He's falling out back a little bit. GS Racing, though, inside the top 5. B13 sitting in 4th. That's another key position. And look back there fighting for 5th. That is the 0 of Trip as they're going to go 3 wide in
And
the
Line
rear.
is not willing to wait because he is shoving that 0 by that 19.
He needs to move, and he's trying to move quickly. No time to wait for that 8 machine. He's got to get up to the field.
So again,
Trip, though,
this
is liking it.
The Xfinity Series, there is no additional stage. This is the last stage. So final update on the points. Yeti third, 10 ahead of Spartan. Spartan currently holding that 4th spot with ease. Impact is 15 back from the 19. It is impossible at this point for anyone besides Impact to get in on points. So Perk, K-Therms, B13 all have to win. Impact is basically very close to a must-win. It is still doable,
I would say
but Spartan has to completely flunk.
he has to finish dead last,
Yeah,
basically.
Spartan
18th
has
in
to
this field.
flunk. And then as for Impact, he has to be within that top 3.
And I would say, for now, Impact has an opportunity to win this thing. He's inside the top 5. I'll give you a lap check next time by. But yes, Impact basically is in a must-win situation, really, in the 10 car. He has to finish 15 spots ahead of Spartan, who also knows how to save fuel. I think that's the thing that's going to maybe hinder Impact from pulling his way in. Spartan knows how to save fuel unless he disconnects. Obviously, if he disconnects, that'll be another issue.
Oh, car up
But
in the
Spartan
wall in the back, that's high trip. Back up, oh,
0.
no, he doesn't hit anybody. Thank you.
He's good, just off the pace. Unfortunate for him. I will also say another guy who's lost a ton of track position is Yeti. He's fallen all the way back to the rear, outside the top 10, I'm pretty sure.
K-Therm still in mid-pack trying to catch back up.
K-Therm's lost track position, and like I said the following weeks, when he has the track position... Oh, someone on the track! Who is that in the wall? I
Spartan
think that's Spartan.
still up the track without that draft help. There goes a lot of spots he's going to lose.
48 to go. 48 laps on the lap check. So I apologize for not checking that stage
So
2.
he
I don't
has
know what
lost
I
4
lost.
spots because of that incident with the outside molesting board. And now the 99 of Holy Divines is starting to make an appearance in this group.
How far back does Spartan go before he starts to gain traction again? I think he'll be fine because he's probably saving a little bit of fuel, but he did tap the wall, so he might have a little bit of damage. Yeti also on the fuel saving strategy. You can see him.
Lefty got hit by Duke Prime. Duke Prime all the way up on the track. Lefty lost his spot in line.
Oh, contact with Spartan. So that's going to open the door for Midnight to get back in this fight, aka Holy Divines. He's going to be sitting behind this group. It's going to be a 10-car pack inside of Charlotte.
Inside
10-car pack now racing. Inside of Charlotte. Technically, it is inside of Charlotte.
45
We're
to
inside
go.
the oval.
And we're seeing it now.
Cowboy
Iron
Tech.
Man out of line. Line almost lost
Leppy.
his spot.
Oh, we saw the 98 also out of line. Perk has to move. Reminder, he's in a must-win situation now.
Perk
Oh,
hits the
apron he
apron.
touched.
Doesn't lose a
Leppy
spot.
got in the back bumper.
He just checks up the second nap of this group. K-Third's first car not in the group in 11.
Unfortunately for Cowboy Tech, he has lost the main pack strat, so unless we have a caution, his race is over. Unfortunate for that car that was having such a solid run. K-Therms, yeah, like you said,
Oh, GS
he's actually leading
GS
that pack
out
now.
of line. And that's going to allow B13 the challenge. And in just a
Oh,
moment,
Yeti
he's going
and
to
company.
clear. And now Line Cone is looking to take back that 4th spot.
B13 clears him. He slides up right in front of the 93 that's going
Line
to check
had
up the
to check
93.
Line had to check up.
Draft is to the 93. He's going to clear him. I was trying to say, as you were talking there as well, back there behind him, Yeti and K-Therms. K-Therms slipped the track on the wall, made contact with his, Yeti got back around him, so K-Therms is struggling at the moment. I don't think it's going to look good for him.
Mental error in turns 3 and 4. He hit the apron, now under fire from Perk.
Oh, wow. So mental errors by the 54, who has been really good tonight, by the way, inside the top 5, inside the top 10 still, but Perk is trying to get around him. He's stuck on the inside lane now as Ironman's alongside him. Made contact with the right rear of the 98, so he slides to the track. Here comes the 11 car of Leppy to the inside of Spartan. He clears him.
And you notice that Yeti is not in that group anymore.
Yes.
And that 9-2.
He's been tuffling with the 21 and the 38 back there, and the 38's fallen off a little bit. Alright. Line Cones currently sits in that 5th position, right behind GS and B13 and Impact. So if Irish holds on to this win, it's a good thing for him. Actually, it would give him good momentum heading into Iowa.
Here's another little aspect, because Yeti is not in this group and Spartan is. Spartan could still catch up to Yeti if this persists and Spartan only gains spots. They are 10 points separated. Right now at the moment it's down to 7. Big checkup up at the front. Line not in that line.
Oh, B13 hit the apron. Apron touched by B13 is going to get alongside the 10 car of Impact. This could be a... They keep it straight. Here's the number one thing that we see. Look at the teams. Oh.
Mets.
That's a caution. That's the
Tech.
caution that's going to change things.
Impact trying to get second back, but it's going to be too little too late.
39 to go, or 38 when they go green again. That's going to shake up things, Hendrick. It's going to be 39 this time by. But guess what's going to happen? You know what's going to happen here? Fuel strategy.
Everyone's
19
still
and
going to be on the
19.
same page.
Yes, but this time, does Line Cone have the willingness to save fuel if he has to?
By the way, I didn't state this earlier. I did have a poll for tonight's race. With 2 spots not clinched, Yeti and Spartan holding those 2. The question was, do you see them both solidifying? A mass majority, 80%, said yes, they both will. 13%, 2 votes said no, Yeti will, not Spartan. 1 person said Spartan would, but not Yeti.
Alright, yeah, let
Yeah,
me check that poll actually.
yeah, I see you were in the minority on this one. But if it means anything, I think that's not the worst pick either. I think that's like the second best pick.
I think right now what I'm seeing is it's right now Yeti or no, my apologies, not Yeti. I think Yeti makes it, but B13 and Impact are having the run of their lives. They're inside the top 5 right now. I think B13's teammates though of ALTM are gonna be a factor for this. They're running top 2. They've won the playoff races, and they're gonna try to build momentum heading into the round of 4. So they're gonna be pushing it and also trying to save fuel. I don't know if they're gonna be saving fuel like the others, but they have a chance to win more races, especially tonight, and lock up that team championship, which they want to lock up immediately. That's something to keep in mind. They might want to win this race just for the team championship. And for 3 cars in the final 4 would be impressive, if you ask me. Or we might see the whole pack pit on choose here. We'll see how many cars come down. We might see guys like Impact, maybe B13, don't pit on choose.
I was to say, I think if you're someone blind, he is under that white line. He was thinking about it, but he doesn't want to lose that track position. We'll see if a couple
Iron
cars
Man,
back
Spartan,
here will.
Yeti.
Brevi,
If you're on controller, you pit.
Master
Controller,
Killer,
you pit.
EXO, K-Therms, Cowboy Tech, Mets.
Oh, B13 to the front row. B13 to the front row. 3 cars chose the inside lane. I feel like we're gonna have team. No, I don't think you put B13 ahead. You
GS
don't
the
have
row
team owners
2.
here.
Leppy the row 3. B13 with a lag.
Ooh. I think it cleared up now. That's unfortunate if it gave someone damage. All the guys coming out of pit road now.
Perk on the inside of row 4. I-Trip 5th car on the inside row.
I'm getting fired.
So here we go
Alright.
for the restart. Everyone catching back up.
They're all going to be on the bottom lane, as the longest line is where you run or choose, basically. You're forced to be on the longest line. Here we go into the Geico restart zone. Your leader, Irish, alongside his teammate of B13. Progressive restart zone as we're green flag again in stage 3. Fuel strategy is going to be a factor as we're entering under 35 laps to go. In the final race of the round of 10, your leaders are Lined and Irish. 2 teammates with their teammate needing a win in 3rd. Impact also needing a win in 4th. 5th is GS, who is a non-playoff guy just trying to be a factor, potentially steal a win from these guys.
And now Perk in that 98 pushing Impact. That's going to give the 98 a spot. Put Perk inside the top 5.
Oh man, it's going to get dramatic here if they continue to keep up with this. And if they can get around Irish and Lined, for sure, it would make it definitely an interesting
Another
finish, to say
thing
the
to
least.
note real quick, again, Yeti in the 92 is not up in this league group. However, Spartan is.
True. Trip is inside the top 6. Look at him getting around GS stuck on the top lane. Here comes Iron Man. He gets back in line.
So currently the gap
Line had to check up.
should still be, looks like it's going to be 6 points in favor of Yeti. But Spartan has a lot of cars he can pass.
Yeah, I think that's the different situation, but he's also can be passed. If someone's making a dive underneath him, I'm pretty sure.
Now it's a 7-minute
He's
gap.
also need. Every point matters for that driver.
GS
Trip getting
still
underneath GS
on the
again.
high line.
Oh, he gets bumped. Here comes Iron Man.
Spartan now to the rear end of this pack.
That's going to help the backpack catch up.
Yep.
They're going to gain time. That's midnight. And Yeti pushing. Reminder, they pitted on Choose, so they have a little bit extra fuel in their tank. Can't push it too hard, obviously, but they have a little bit more fuel than the guys up front. Keep that in mind when you're watching them. 31 laps to go. Contact between Iron Man and Trip. Pushes up the track a little bit.
XO of this 21 car, I just saw him running the high line. He is at the back of this first group. And the 99 has caught them. Yeti is hanging on by a thread.
Oh, GS hit the apron in front of Leppy. They keep it straight.
Oh my goodness.
I think I saw.
That is a huge break just now for Yeti because both himself and Midnight nearly hit the wall exiting 4.
Gotcha.
21 hit
I think
the
I
apron.
saw.
Has to check up. And that's going to be big. Yeti has caught them. Same with Duke Prime.
Yeah, EXO. Yeah, you got a lot of other guys being a factor now. This is where it starts to get dangerous territory. I know Spartan is probably saving fuel, so that's why he's probably not pushing as hard. But as you start to wind down the laps, as we see B13 just hanging on by a thread, holding on to third place. Do they swap around second and third if they can in front of Impact? As Perk is also getting underneath.
I think they'll consider
The 10
that.
car.
They'll consider that later on, but right now it's too risky with all these cars up here.
Yeah, agree. And Perk clears him for fourth. Look at the move by the 98 as he clears Impact.
3 of the drivers
Look.
below the cut line. Inside the top 5.
The top.
All need wins. No way else out.
Especially with Spartan just running decent enough. The only way they don't make it, or at least Spartan doesn't make it, is if he finishes 15th on back. And that's if Impact finishes second. He would have to finish 19th. And I don't know if there is 19 cars in the field.
Yeah.
If he finishes second and Spartan finishes 19th, he would get in. I'm pretty sure. It'd be
27
oh,
to
someone on the
go.
wall. Leppy in the wall a little bit. I think that's Leppy.
Yep, the 11
Checked
car.
up. Unfortunate for him. Yeah, here comes Yeti behind Spartan. Gonna get underneath him here. Making the pass for position. That is what Yeti needs. He needs to get in front of the 19 just to confirm his,
That
I
was
guess,
a huge
legitimacy.
moment just now exiting 4. Haythorne's got loose right in front of both Yeti and Spartan.
26 laps to go. You're gonna want to save a lap of fuel to make it into 19 at least to go. It's gonna be tight on fuel for Impact. He can save 21, but he loses so much pace by doing that. Is it really worth it? As we got Line Cone and them dicing up front. They're not making moves, they're just getting a little squirrely. Here comes Perk in fourth. Back there is really where the action is,
Oh,
Hendrick.
Yeti
Fifth
trying
on
to
back.
push the 38 out of the way, can't do it. GS still on the outside of the 92. That's the top battle currently at the moment as GS
Oh,
gets pushed
contact.
up. And up ahead, you see contact. Impact went up the track. Does maintain his spot in line, but 3 wide behind him.
Yeah, Iron Man made a little contact with Impact as we're entering under 24 laps to go, right? No, 26 laps to go in stage 3. So far, it's been a very clean affair. One caution, which did shake up the strategy during this stage. But overall, it's been very clean. Top 13 guys are under a blanket, I would say, Hendrick. They're really under a blanket. It's anyone's game.
This is the top 50 right now.
Oh, my lordy. Ooh,
3/4
Impact slides to the track.
of this field is in this pack.
Oh!
Yeti able to
Yeti
save it.
keeps it straight.
A season
They had to
saving
check
move
up.
just now by the 92.
Impact hit the apron. Iron Man checked up, and it really checked up Yeti bad as Tripp is on his outside now.
If Yeti did not save that, that would have been a single car spin, and he would have lost all those spots, while Spartan would have closed the gap on him in the point standings.
Little lag spike from a car up in the front.
Wonder if that may have been the one again.
Looks clean now.
Impact again hit the apron. I-Trip way up the track, doesn't hit the wall.
All right, we're gonna go back up to the one car.
Next
Let's get back
time
up to
by,
him.
it will be 20 to go.
This is when the fuel cycle, we're gonna see maybe guys who are not saving as much.
Who goes down
Having...
first?
Exactly. You want to pit with about 17 to go so you can officially make it.
Oh,
Oh,
Midnight
K-Thumbs
hit
hit the
it.
apron. Yeah,
And Yeti was checked
They're
up
all hitting
because
it.
of
they're all hitting the apron back there. It's getting a little chaotic near the rear of the
Now, you
field
gotta
as
think
they're
with
going to
the
start
16
positioning
car
themselves.
pack, you have to enter into 3 deep.
Oh, Iron Man at the track, Spartan in the wall! Spartan in the wall, he's going to slow up!
Able to save the
Teammates!
pack, but keep an eye on pit entries. If you go too shallow into here, you may go back up the track and hit somebody. Especially with how
Yes.
deep this pack is.
We've seen that, I think it was with Signs
Spacer
event.
sitting
We
at the
saw
apron.
people...
Impact taking advantage. Big
Oh, wow,
13
he
block.
gets
Perk,
around him.
Perk fights back, goes to the block.
Oh! That's
But
not
look
good.
behind
Perk got on
him.
the inside.
Here comes K-Thurm.
Apron touch by Perk. Here comes K-Therms. Like you said, he's going to try to make moves. He's got money moves. He's getting underneath him, pitting this time by. Early pit by them. Here they come to pit road.
Beginning. Keep an eye on this here.
How
Everyone here
good-
with a safe entry. But the notable
Good
going
entry by
down
the-
now is K-Therms. I-Trip,
Great
Exeter,
entry by him.
PS, Midnight, New Prime, all in. Vets and Trevi
Considering how much-
already in.
Yo, Hendrick, considering how much time he gained on that lap, he was able to take a spot or two. That is good pit entry by him. He was able to gain a spot or two entering, and then finally got some track position entering,
Oh,
and
we
was
got
able to execute.
problems. Yeti ran out of fuel.
Oh, no!
Yeti ran out.
Where is he?
All the
Okay,
way
he's entering
back
3.
there in 3 and 4. He ran out on the backstretch.
At least for him, he's going to make it to pit road unlike Sterlo. So while yes, it's going to be a net loss, we'll see where he finishes though. Can he regain the track position he's going to lose? He might not go a
And
lap
here
down,
comes
we'll
Moore
see.
of the field, led by Irish.
Impact's going to try to gain. Impact's going to try to gain. Look for the gain. Oh, he's lined up the track. He's on the track.
Line stayed out. He
He's
only
going to send
won
it.
2.
Impact's going to get alongside the 7. One car alongside him. Look for K-Therms. Where is K-Therms at the moment? He's trying to get his lap back now. Where is the 38?
I'm going to be
Where is
interested
line
to
staying
see
out?
where this 92 cycles out, because he may lose enough spots to where he's in trouble.
Gotcha. His highest,
There,
the
yeah,
lowest
you see
finishing
it right there.
position
Yeti
he
just
can get.
exited pit road. Everyone that he was racing around just passed him before he even exited.
He can only get 19. That is the worst position he can get at the moment.
And that means for Spartan, he can be 9th or better.
Oh, yeah. And that means also for him, he doesn't necessarily
Irish off first.
have to win.
Watch for K-Therms here. There he
He's
is.
on the backstretch for me.
Interesting. I wonder if K-Therms sped.
He may
I
have.
think the 38 did speed, and if that's the case, his run may be
Yeah, he
over
did.
unless the precaution comes out. But there's where Spartan is.
And like you said,
In 11.
with
There's where
Yeti
is.
falling all the way back.
Yeah, he is all the way back there.
Yeah, and now with that, if Impact wins, Yeti's going to be in the danger zone. That is not what Yeti needed, and key mistake by him is going to potentially cost him his playoff chances, as Impact is in second place. And the pack is hounding behind him. Look who's up to third! Is that who I think it is? Oh, as soon as I talk about him, he falls back. Iron Man taking third.
Yeti
Trip
in
was
the
having a
14th
good run.
position right now. So the gap is 7
Okay,
points.
that's good.
Here's where the 19 is right now. Going on board with him.
So, Yeti's still in a good spot then.
He is,
He's still in a...
but he has to hope that Spartan doesn't catch up to more people. It is 7 points right
True.
now. So right
7
now
points.
for Spartan, if he gets top 4, then you can make a case that Spartan gets ahead of Yeti.
Line Cone making a move on Iron Man here. Trying to get underneath him.
And we look we look back to the finishes in the past round, or the past couple of races of this round. Remember, ties based on best finish. Yeti
Oh, yeah.
finished second at Pocono. So
Yes.
technically for Spartan, he has to get top 3. If he gets 4th, he loses on the tie.
True.
Spartan
Also, they're
up to
going 3
10th,
wide back there.
and Spartan is right in the
K-Term's
middle
back to
of
pit
it.
road. Yeah, K-Term's had an issue entering pit road. His season is over.
Spartan
Midnight and Spartan make contact.
Yes. And there he goes. Spartan's gonna get by.
The key equation in all of this, can Impact actually get around Irish to win the race? That's really the question we have. Can he actually get around him? Because if he can't get around Irish, none of this hypothetical points position between Spartan and Yeti matters. He's got to win the race to even get that into a factor
And
here.
if that does happen right now, the points race has shrunk down to 4 points.
Is there a chance that Yeti could catch someone on his end? Is there an opportunity for him?
He is not close to anybody on this side. He is a couple seconds back from a couple cars, but I don't think they are on the lead lap. Yeah, because one of those is Trevi, who is pitting.
Gotcha.
Yeah, K-Therms is the one ahead of him. That's not poor position.
Yeah, he pitted again.
And K-Therms into the grass. And I think
Here comes the lap car.
that's the 38 waving the white flag.
We got a lap car, then a 39. Lap traffic being a factor for the leaders. It's going to affect Impact off exit. It's going to help him gain some little bit of time on Irish. We're going to get a lap check this time by at
9
the
to
line.
go.
They're good on fuel. They're pushing to the limit. They are officially good on fuel. Here
Now-
comes Line Cone.
You gotta think of this from Irish's perspective. Who does he want to compete against for a championship? Does he want Impact to go to the Final Four? Does he want Spartan or Yeti? That's the question he's got to be thinking about right now.
If I'm Irish, I feel like you kind of want... I don't think you want Spartan in the Final Four. I think Spartan has shown his speed, but at the same time, does he want to give up a win? As Line Cone is saying that he's going to steal the win. Look at his pace. He has caught the top 2 and he is flying.
Spartan-
He's trying to steal the win from both of them.
Spartan gained another spot. The gap is now down to 3.
I don't think the top 2 are going to win it. Line Cone is faster than both of them, and he's flying.
3 points is all that separates the 19 and the 92. And an update
7
on
to go.
Yeti talking about how close he is to the next car ahead of him. It's 9 seconds.
Well, I would say, relatively, that is possible if it's based off of fuel. They can't make it on fuel. We'll see. Not really possible, but there's still a half of a chance he maybe catches them if he's got the speed. Because these cars are different. It's going to be a top 3 heavyweight battle.
6 to go.
Impact's
When they
been
get
in the
back
fight.
To the line, there will be no more caution for the rest of the event.
These intermediate type racetracks, Hendrick, Impact has been in the fight. I think Chicagoland really showed out. He finished second there, was not able to get the win. He's in the same situation this week. This time he has to win to make the Final Four. He's going to be willing to move Irish, I feel like, here. He's going to have to, maybe, as we're entering their 5 laps to go.
No more
from
cautions.
Charlotte.
This is it. Whatever happens, happens. Who makes
It's
it
for all
on
the
fuel,
marbles.
Who doesn't? We'll have to find out here
They
in the next couple of minutes.
They should be good on fuel. I'm going to be hesitant on that. They should be good up front. They might have to coast off a little bit. But the real question is, can Impact actually get around the 7? That's the real question. With Line Cone hounding him if he makes a move and makes a mistake, we could see Impact dropping down to 3rd.
Meanwhile, other hopefuls trying to somehow have a miracle. Perk trying to find a way by Iron Man for 4th. B13 and 6.
Unfortunately for them, there's going to be no more cautions unless the top 3 wreck, and that would be grateful for Perk, who's sitting back there in 4th. Actually, that's Iron Man in 4th.
Yep.
Perk is all the way back there, I think, in 6th. Impact! Got to the bottom!
For the
He
lead!
did! 3 to go!
The
He
10
got
car.
there! Oh my god, he's gonna do it!
He puts them
Contact!
on the racetrack.
They keep it straight! Here
Side by
comes
side.
Impact and Irish. Side by side, entering 3 and 4. We're under 5 laps to go, entering 2 laps at the line. Irish gonna get the momentum off the top. They're gonna be side by side exiting the corner. Irish, Impact. Irish is locked in on a win. Impact needs to win tonight. He had to be aggressive and made the move. 2 laps to go at Charlotte.
Line still
Line
on
cone.
Impact over his teammate. Is that going to be enough to clear
Contact.
him? It does. He can go back
Woo-hoo-hoo.
up if he wants to.
Impact, I don't think you want to clear him.
10 car in
I don't think
front.
he wants to. You don't want to clear him. Line cone in the back bumper of the 10. As we're coming to white flag at Charlotte. Can Impact lock himself into the round of 4 and eliminate someone on the cut line? Here we go. White flag is in the air.
Down to 2 points.
Oh, Impact blocking off the gas.
Gonna have
They're
one
stacking
shot.
up behind him.
1 shot down the backstretch. What will the 7 do?
He's going to have to use the bumper. Does he use the
He's gonna
bumper?
arc it.
Impact. Shallow entry. He's going to slide the track. Good block by him. It's going to be enough. Impact is going to win his way into the Final 4 at Iowa.
Huh?
I know you did not just say hi. I know you did not.
Jack, roast this man.
That was a good call.
You big dummy.
That was... I'm a big... What do you mean?
Spartan in 6. And the 92
Oh.
of Yeti is going to make it in on points.
Do we want to get all the... Do we want to get the drivers who were involved?
Just the top 3.
Well, if you join my party, I'm gonna close my party now because you just threatened me with that.
Oh, Yeti went up to 11, so yeah, he's definitely in. He gets in by 5.
Do we want to give the news to the Final 4, or do you want to wait?
I can give the news to them in the stream.
Okay, let's... Okay.
So we'll finish
gonna
up
get
with
to top-
interviews real quick, and then I'll let them know.
Oh
But
my god, that
Impact either
was...
way, we talked about
Clutching up.
pulling an upset when you needed to,
Yes.
and the 10 of Impact is going to the Championship 4.
Man, we saw it in Stage 1 and 2. Stage 1 especially. He knew how to save fuel, and once he got the track position, Hendrick, he didn't let it go.
Georgia
He capitalized
in the
on
chat,
it.
he did talk about wanting to see Doghouse Racing get a win tonight. Impact did do it.
He's in a happy mood. Yeah, Impact did it. Good job on him. Fastest lap tonight is going to be
Perk.
the 98 of Perk.
Impact had the 10th fastest.
You don't have to be the fastest to win. You just got to be the best at the end.
Mm-hmm.
That rhymes.
Just
I
because
love
we're
it.
talking about something different doesn't mean I'm going to let this thing go about you calling it Iowa.
No, he advanced to the Final 4 at Iowa. That's what I said.
No, you
Made it to
said
the
he
round.
won at Iowa.
No, I think I said
Yes,
Final
you
4
did.
at Iowa. He finally won and locks himself into the Final 4 at Iowa. He did lock himself for Iowa. He locks himself into the Final 4 for Iowa. Yeah, it's true! I think I said that. I said that. Okay, I'm not. No, I said that. It said he locked himself into the Final Four at Iowa. I swear I said that. Okay, I'm gonna rewatch it and make sure that I said what I said. That came out of my mouth. Make sure you turn off your party audio thing. Okay, there you go. I'm inviting them now. I called the winner. Alright guys, we are doing interviews. How you doing, Ghost? We are doing some commentary tonight. This is what I do on the side, besides Apex, of course. EXO, I'll invite you. You can listen. I'll let you listen to our spiel. Are they joining? He will. You know, but oh man. Well, buddy, you're cooked. No, what? No, a lot of people like to talk to me. They do. They do. You asked me for a setup. Don't scream at me, okay? I didn't know a setup. And then you insulted me. Besides, oh yeah, are you all in here? Okay, guys, we're gonna turn on party audio. Please do not leave. That is the key question. Okay. Is Yeti in here? Oh. Yeah, I'll get him in here real quick. I'll turn on my audio. I'll turn off your audio real quick. Where is he? Where is that fat lord? There he is. Hey, Yeti, get your ass in here. I talked to him earlier. We got good news for you, man. Okay, he might just be watching stream. Okay. There he is. Okay. Make sure you guys include your audio first and foremost.
What's up?
Nothing much.
My fuel was fine. I saved enough to do only one stop
Ooh.
there, and I was the last car to pit. I thought I'd have fresh enough tires to pass them all and win the race. I definitely had the pace to pass them both. I just didn't have enough laps. Really hard to pass tonight.
Hendrick audio. My audio on my side. You gotta include it.
Oh, fair enough. Okay. All right. Well, that should be fixed. But blind. Next question I do want to ask. I know there were implications regarding who would be racing you for the title next week. I know with Impact trying to get his way in, I want to ask you for your opinion. Would you rather have Impact into the championship round? Would you rather have Yeti? Would you rather have Spartan? Who would you want in to battle you for the title?
I don't know. I don't know who's the best at Iowa. I guess
Well,
maybe
speaking of
Yeti if I
Iowa,
had to say.
speaking of Iowa, that's where we're heading next week. So thanks for
Yeah.
bringing in the good segue. But for Iowa next week, title race, pretty much got to win at that point. Do you think you'll be the one that'll be able to pull it off and get the title at the end of next Saturday?
I hope. I'm pretty fast there, pretty confident. I think I can get it done.
All right. Well, Line, before I let you go here and prepare for what will be a huge race for you next week, do you have any special shout outs you'd like to give before we hear from our runner up?
Yeah, shout out to all to them. Shout out to Irish. Good racing and Jack for clean race and good win.
All right. Well, Line, congrats on the P3. And again, congrats on making it to that championship round. I know you had an extra week just to relax a bit and wait for the race that will be coming up. I do wish you the best of luck at Iowa next week.
Thank you.
No problem. All right, we're on to our second place finisher and teammate of Line Cone. That is Mr. Irish in the 7. Irish, make sure your audio is included.
Yep.
All right. Well, first off, man, congrats on P2. I know you didn't have much to worry about tonight, or even the last week and a half, considering you already locked yourself in the first race. But when you were battling Impact, was that a question of who you wanted to be racing against in the title race? Did that come to your mind about Impact, about Spartan, about Yeti?
Absolutely not.
Hmm.
The only person I'm worried about next week is Line Cone. Uh, Dude is crazy fast. Um, but yeah, that was a hell of a battle for the win between the three of us. Um, Good job, Impact. He said he bumped me into turn one with 2 to go. It's all fair, racing for the win. He was racing for his playoff championship life, so we'll just go on to next week and dominate the third stage like I did tonight, but we'll come away with a different result.
So you just mentioned that you feel your biggest threat is going to be your teammate. So if it does come to that next week with you and Lion Cone, how's the racing going to be between you two? Is it just going to be the same as every other week, or do you think it's going to be a little bit different now, knowing that there are more things at stake next Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, we race each other hard all the time. We help each other when it counts, and we race when it counts. Um, I expect, we're gonna have a nice, clean race, and the other Final Four contenders, we're all here for a reason. We all race clean. Um, so I'm not really approaching it differently than any other race. Um, just gonna go out there and do my best.
And speaking of that, Iowa is this Saturday. Personally, for you, how are you at Iowa? Is that a track that you like racing at? Is it a track where you think you're going to need a lot of practice on in order to compete for the title, or is it in the middle?
Um, yeah, it's not my favorite track, and historically not my best, but I have gotten a lot better. Um, I'm just calling my shot. I'm a lead the entirety of stage three. Stage one or two don't really matter. Um, and gonna win it. So,
All right. Well, there you go. A Babe Ruth call right there. But Irish, before I let you go here, do you have any special shout outs you'd like to give before we hear from the driver of the 92?
yeah, shout out to ALTM. I'm pretty sure at least for a couple weeks now, we've secured the team championship. Um, and yeah, shout out to the other Final Four contenders. Don't know if it's Yeti or Spartan yet. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be Yeti. He had a hell of a lead on Spartan coming in. So
Well, all
congrats
right.
to the Final Four. Let's go.
Irish, congrats again on making it into the final round. Congrats on the P2 run tonight. I wish you the best of luck at Iowa next week for the title.
Thank you. We got a 50% shot at getting it for ALTM. So looking forward to it.
There you go. Yep, only team with at least multiple drivers in. All right. Well, we're going to go on ahead and interview the driver of the 92 next. That is Mr. Yeti. Yeti did finish after the results were shown in the 11th position. Yeti, make sure your audio is included. All right. Well, Yeti, first off, I know you were starting to have that feeling of why you're in the party, but I think it's pretty clear now at this point. You are the person that will make it in through points to the championship round. You were up by 5 over Spartan. So congrats on punching your ticket in. First off, I know that last stage was kind of stressful for you considering you weren't really up there with Spartan in the leaders. So what was going through your head throughout those last few laps regarding your fate for the final round?
Honestly, I was sitting 14th with like the last 5 laps, just driving myself, and I honestly thought I lost. I left the Discord and thought I was not making the final four. So I was just driving around just disappointed because I ran out of I went an extra lap too far in my strategy, and because I had to push to catch them, and I was so defeated after that.
Well, now that you are in, again, congrats. You are the only representative for KMR Motorsports for the championship next week. So I want to ask you personally, considering now that you know that you're going to compete against Irish, against Lined, and against Impact for that championship, how do you think you stack up against them?
I was known to be one of my best short tracks in the game, so hopefully I can keep up the line because I feel like he's going to be the biggest threat. Iris being the second biggest, and Impact's toss up. I don't know how he is there.
Verbal.
Well, I know you kind of just gave us that teaser. You said it was one of your best short tracks. Do you see yourself potentially being up in the front for the majority of the race? Do you think you're going to need a little bit of practice to maybe kind of sharpen up the experience there a little bit? Or
Definitely going
are
to practice. Definitely going to practice. I think I can be up there for the win. It's just getting the right setup. Honestly, setup means everything in there. You can run tight, but if you don't got that center rotation, like in the late part of the run, without it being completely loose off the corners, you have no chance of winning.
all right. Well, Yeti, before I let you go here and prepare for Iowa next Saturday, do you have any special shout outs you'd like to give?
Everyone, all the drivers, all the admins, and the broadcasters has just been a great season so far, and I'm looking forward to the next one.
All right. Well, Yeti, congrats on punching your ticket into the final round. We'll be keeping an eye on you next Saturday. Again, congrats on that. I wish you the best of luck at Iowa next week. No problem. And with that, we're going to have Bren interview the other driver who punched his ticket into the final round.
Yeah, like you said, we got another driver on here who officially clutched up tonight, got his first win on, actually, it's his third win on the season. I remember the doubleheader winning, but Impact, after tonight, I mean, you got it done. Able to make the move, like you said, you bumped up, I think it was Irish a little bit up the track, but I think it was clean, especially when you consider that you needed a win, especially to get in the Final Four, but take me through the strategy in stage one, getting the track position, just hanging on, and then officially being able to secure it over Irish and Line at the end there.
Yes. Stage one. That was my goal, is to try to get track position for stage two. So I just saved it. It's easy to save the 22 laps. So I got the stage win there, and then third stage two. Points really didn't matter to me. I had to win because I was so far back, and just wanted to try to put myself in position in stage three, and luckily I did, and was able to pit with Irish, had a good pit stop, come out right with him, hang with him. I seen Line coming in that rear view. He caught fast. I thought he was gonna fucking send me. Being teammates with Irish, I was popping heart medication over here. Trying to keep everything calm, and gave Irish a little bump into turn one. Just got him a little tight where he had to let up a little, and was able to just hold on after that.
Yeah, the definition of clutch, I would like to say, impacts. So next week, of course, this locks you into the Final Four. So next week is Iowa. I saw the chat in our Discord. What are your thoughts on Iowa and the other four guys with you?
Yeah, I tell you, Line and Irish and Yeti, yeah, y'all got 95% chance to win, and I'm on the 5% scale right there. So y'all can divvy it up, or y'all could take 33% each, and I'll take the one, I guess.
All right,
No,
Scott Steiner.
I'm not a. Iowa is not good for me. I'm not a. It's I never can figure that track out, but I got some good teammates at HVM, so maybe somebody can Sterlo or Cowboys or somebody can hook me up with something. So we'll do our best. That's all we can do. And Lions tough, Irish is tough. Yeti, I mean, he has his days where he's good and he has his bad days like today. But everybody's unpredictable, and it only takes one fuck up, and that's your race.
That is very true. Any special shots before we head out and go over the race results?
Yeah, give a shout out to Bryn. Just shut the fuck up and no, good race. Admins. It's been a good season. Good racing tonight. What do we have? One caution, I think. And
Yeah, I think so.
I really enjoy the Xfinity cars. They're one of my favorites. Besides trucks, trucks are my favorites. Yeah, I'd rather run these all day than Premier cars or Cup cars. I think we get the
I
best
agree.
racing with Xfinity than we do with the other ones.
I think that's honestly a true statement. We've had really good racing. Well, again, Impact, you clutched up tonight, got the W in the bag. I will see you at Iowa for the Final Four.
Yep, I'll be there. Appreciate it. Yo, go. Just want to give another shout out. Yo, Irish, good racing there at the end, man. And Line, like I said in the other race lobby, thanks for not ditching me because you could have easily done it, man. You came fast.
All right, gentlemen, that's going to wrap it up for us. We're going to go over results, and we're also going to let the admin speak on it. Mets, let's give your thoughts on the race as a whole from your point of view.
Yep, very good. Shout out to the Final Four, as you said, Yeti, Line, Irish, and Impact, deserving Final Four. Great race overall. Only one caution. Just as Impact said, as Irish has said in the past, these Xfinity cars are just give up great racing, and for what we get with Heat 5, it gives us the best quality in my opinion. And these guys show out every week. That helps too. And let's go on to Iowa and go win a championship.
Short track racing, as we like to say. All right, gentlemen, we're going to go over results real quick. Out of the top 10, Hendrick will do 11th through 20th. So, of course, Impact getting stage 1 victory and the overall race win, advance himself into the Final Four. Second was Irish, of course, already in the Final Four, won at Pocono the first race of the round of 10, so he's already in. Line Cohen won last week at, I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, last week was at... Yes, that was Gateway. Linecone was able to get it done. He's already locked in, so they finished second and third, the two winners of the past 2 weeks. Perk, unfortunately, finished fourth, was not in the lead pack of the top 4, or top 3, my apologies. Was not able to get a good, still a solid finish for him, but unfortunately the season comes to a close in the final race of the round of 10. Ironman top 5 for him in the 54. I thought he was going to be a contender at the end. Unfortunately, he fell out, and still got top 5 for himself. Still a great run. Spartan, unfortunately, with Impact winning, got himself knocked out with, I think it was Yeti getting up to 11. So unfortunate for Spartan. Had such a great season. I think he had 2 wins on the season. Still a really disappointing finish for Spartan, but he still had nothing to put his head down. He had a great season overall. Just so close to making the Final Four. If he would have got there, it would have been something to see. 7th was B13 in a must-win situation. Unfortunately, he finished inside the top 10. Did not get the win, but still a solid season for him as a whole. Trip, top 10 for him. Good run for the Zero Machine. Trip, top 10, 8th there. 9th is Leppy, another top 10 for him. Good run. We saw GS Racing inside the top 5 for a moment at the end there. Fell back to 10th at the end.
All right. And then looking on from 11th on back, again, we just heard from him. Yeti in the 92 punched his ticket in. He was projected 5 above the cut line after the end of tonight. So again, congrats to him. He did what he needed to do, and now he's going on to battle for a title. In P12, the driver of the 9, Mr. Duprime, secures that position. Not a bad run. We did see him run inside the top 10 for a decent portion of tonight. XO Austin, one spot short of that 12th place streak continuing. He does finish in the 13th position tonight. On to the 14th place car. That is Midnight, Holy Divines in the 99 in 14th. The last car to finish on the lead lap. In 15th place, the 39 of Master Killer. We saw him get lapped. He actually finished 2 down in the 15th position. The 36 of Trevi ends up finishing in P16 tonight. The 44 of Cowboy Tech ends up in 17th. He was in the 10th position for a little bit of tonight, but again, some pit strategies and issues caused him to go back there. Met's the last driver to at least be on track for the finish. He does get 18th, 7 down. In 19th, we saw it happen. We talked about it for a little bit. That was K-Therms. K-Therms finishes in the 19th position. He needed a win tonight. He did not do it. Unfortunate for him. He had a great season. Hopefully the 38 car will be able to show up next week and compete for the win. Rounding out the top 20 and the rest of the field, the 16 of Sterlo. We saw what happened. He forgot to pit. I did get told that he was distracted at the moment, and he did not pit in time during caution. He ran out of fuel, and that was the dagger for his championship hopes. Regardless, a great run for Sterlo, being able to still have a chance of making it into the final round. Same could be said with K-Therms. We'll see how well both of these two do going into Iowa.
Like you said, it's overall been a great season, Hendrick. I've loved the series. I think the racing's been great. They've improved every week. I feel like, but unfortunately, the season will come to a close. And well, Hendrick, you will be commentating the next season. That's gonna be fun. But next week is gonna be a fun one. Iowa short track. Personally, it is definitely a fun one. I think we'll see some different situations. I think the Final Four favorite at the moment would either be Line Cone or Irish, and if I had to pick one, I'm gonna go with Line Cone. I feel like who would your favorite be for next week? We'll discuss this probably on the podcast more.
Yeah, I'll actually keep my answer for the podcast this Wednesday.
Okay, well, you guys heard my answer early. But overall, it's been a great night of racing. Congrats to Impact again on making the Final Four. It's been me and Hendrick on the call. It's been a great night. Congrats to Impact again on punching his ticket into the Final Four. We'll see you guys next week. Saturday, I don't know what time, maybe a little bit early if we get some interviews. We don't know. I'll give you details later. But it's been fun. We'll see you guys tomorrow night for NXT. Peace.